Namaste. Previously we created these type of joints. These are called socket joints, and we also made a whole action figure out of it. So now we will be making these ball joints. These are comparatively difficult than the previous ones, but not very hard. So at start, what we are gonna do is take these wires. You can get these wires from anywhere, like from hardware stores, mainly in hardware stores only, and you have to bend it like this. You can use a spanner. Now, if you have a kid under 16, please take your parents' guidance. So you can see over here what kind of shape I am making. I am making this shape, hook shape you can call it, or umbrella tip shape, umbrella handle shape. And I'm gonna, join these two together. I will be using a masking tape to join these together, and I will also add glue in between them. Now, there's a reason I am making this kind of hook shape, because that portion will have a clay ball over it, and whenever that clay gets hardened, so that doesn't break. You'll understand that in future. So right now you can see I'm mixing this resin and hardener. The clay I have taken is fevicryl molded clay. Now you can see over here I am mixing it like this, and you have to keep mixing until it gets completely white like this. Now you can see that I am making a ball over here right now. Take only required amounts of clay. Then afterwards you can see I have to make this type of shape right now. If you want to get more familiar with this clay, I have made various tutorials regarding this. Do check those out. And I have to get this kind of shape, and you have to use only, you don't have to use too much of clay. Only little amount of clay is enough, depending on how big you want your joints to be. Then I am using this type of tools. There are various tools that you can get, and I also roll this on surface, but if you press it too hard, then it might lose the ball shape. Now you can see what I am doing over here. Simply I have to make this a ball. Only the difficult part over here is that to get a perfect ball. We can never get a fully perfect 100% ball, but we can surely try to get around 80 to 90% or maybe 70 to 80% spear. Rather than calling it a ball, we can call it a spear. But these are basically called ball joints. You can see after, as I'm doing this again and again, it is getting a shape. Now this thing is that if you try to give it a shape as soon as you have mixed the clay, then it might be a little difficult for you. So the thing is that what you have to do is, after you have mixed the clay and after it has been around 45 minutes, the clay gets a bit more hard. So now you can get this kind of ball shape. You can give it this kind of shape because it becomes easy on a more hardened clay rather than giving it a shape in more smoothened clay, right? So what I'm doing right now over here is I have mixed some new clay, and you can see that this old one has been hardened after 2 hours, completely hardened after 2 hours, and I will be adding this new clay on top of that. Also you can see there's this new clay also which I have mixed. It has been around how much, maybe around 30 to 40 minutes, and now I will cover this up completely. I'll try to cover this ball completely with this new clay. Again I am saying that the ball has been completely hardened, and the previous clay that we made, previous ball shape, that has been completely hardened, and this is what I'm doing. It is after 2 hours after doing that. Now you can see that I have completely covered it, and I have left a little portion so that I can move this joint over here. Now what you have to do is keep on moving this like this. You have to hold the at the ball area, and you have to keep on rotating or moving this middle area, the middle straight line or middle straight stick, you can see like this. We have to keep on doing this, and after every 10 to 15 minutes what you have to do is keep on doing this, so that if you don't do that, then the newly added clay will stick completely to the ball and your whole joint will go waste. So you have to keep on moving it after some time. I hope you are understanding this. If you have any doubts regarding this, then you can let me know in the comments. But do try this out and you will surely get it. It is not something which is difficult. See what I am doing over here. I have kept it to dry for some time, and after every around 15 minutes or after every 10 minutes, what I'll do, I will hold this and I will try to move it. That's it. You have to keep on doing this. If you move it too much, then the clay might come off. So you have to take a lot of patience for that. And you can see this whole thing has been completely dried out, and you can see over here our ball joint is completely ready. And you can also see while moving there are some cracks forming over here. There are also chances that it might break, but it's okay completely. We can later add clay over it so that it doesn't break again and again. Now, according to me, this ball joint now is completely ready and you can create as much things you want from it. And just in case if your joints get stuck, which I said before, if your clay gets stuck to the wall, then you can use a spanner like this to free it, then it will move again. And like this, I have added many ball joints over here, and like this we can attach it. I'll show these things in future videos. Also, you can see over here that it can also break if you move it too much, or if you have not created the ball properly, or if you have not added the clay cover to it properly. You can see it over here like this. See here this one is a perfect one. I can move it as much as possible and it won't break. And here it's not a perfect one. And this is something which I have made in a bigger size. You can make a bigger size as well if in case smaller size is getting difficult for you to work on. You can see over here for the head I have given ball joint so I can get complete and good movement out of it. Also, I have made a small gear shifter with the help of this same ball joint. You can see below there's this same ball joint which I have made. I'll show a tutorial of this as well, where we'll again do a revision of the making of the ball joint. It is easy but tricky process, and once later you have get familiar with this, you can create simple dragon like this as well. Tutorial for this is also coming up. See, same ball joint technique I have used. Nothing complicated over here. Same, this might look complicated, but I have used the same ball joint technique, and you can see it can also do any kind of shapes like this. It can also swim over here. So I guess this is enough for the ball joint video right now, and I hope you try this out. This is really amazing, and see you next time with a new video.